What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Here to bring you an NFL trade prediction video on Jonathan Allen. I believe the veteran lineman will be traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, let's get into why, guys. But before that, life is hilarious. Literally, guys, go to my videos, the Kyle Pitts theme video I did on February 7th. In the first 45 seconds, I explained to you that video that dropped, the Kyle Pitts video, was not the original video. My original video was Jonathan Allen being traded for Kyle Pitts in a straight up swap. I'm a Falcons fan, if you don't know, and I've been kind of debating whether we should move on from Pitts or not. But in that video, I did a fantasy style trade. I'm like, okay, we need linemen. The Commanders might need a tight end. We'll see about Zach Ertz. Cliff Kingsbury, his time with the Cardinals, he wanted Kyle Pitts. He loved Kyle Pitts. So I'm like, hey, it makes sense. Swap, even swap. I never put it out. I say in that video, I scrapped it. I had it on private, and I just got cold feet and never put it out, and I just scrapped it. It's like, dog, I should have put that thing out. I would look like a genius now because I've been saying on this channel for 2 years. I know that move might not happen. It could happen though, the Pitts and Allen swap. But I've been saying on this channel for 2 years, Jonathan Allen wants to be traded. He just never said. He never asked for a trade. He's been coming out in the media a couple times, having some not so good comments, but he never asked for a trade. So I've been doing trade videos on Allen for a year and a half, 2 years now, and the one I didn't put out, the year it finally happens. I had him last year going to the Packers, which could be the case now, but I think Wyatt, the former Georgia first round pick, I believe, he kind of stepped up now. They still have Kenny Clark, so kind of off that fit now. I think the Packers might want an edge rusher, but no, going to the video now on topic. I've been knowing Allen wanted out for a while. My mind kind of changed this year because, and the reason why I didn't put it out, another small reason was because the Commanders had a good year this year. The Commanders were having bad years prior to this year. And like I said, Allen making a little bit of noise in the media, never wanted out, but he always just never looked happy. He never really sounded happy. He said he wasn't happy, but he never asked out, right? But after a good year with a new coaching staff, we got Jaden Daniels now. Everything is on the up and up. You would think he would want to stay. But as I was saying even last year, he doesn't fit Dan Quinn's scheme. I've been saying that, so it makes sense. After the year that he had, the team was good. He wasn't really impactful because he had an injury that cost him most of the year, the pectoral injury. So it makes sense. It makes sense he wants out now. I should have did a video out and beat myself up about it, but it is what it is. But why the Steelers? The Steelers, to me, make the most sense. I know a lot of people probably in the mainstream media will tell you the Bengals, and the Bengals could be a good option. They are a good option. They have a need for them, but they have so much of their time and money tied up into trying to keep T. Higgins. I don't know why. I've said, same for Allen. I've been saying for T. Higgins, and most people have, it's not just me, but I've been saying for T. Higgins on this channel for 2 years now. Trade that man. He should have been going a year and a half ago, a year ago. And for some reason, the Bengals are scared to move on and part ways and try to get better another way. You don't need 2-star receivers to win the Super Bowl. So I don't understand their logic. I know everybody's cool with each other and want to stay together, but it's kind of hindering them in my opinion. So I think the Bengals are kind of too tied up trying to keep Higgins, trying to keep Trey Hendrickson. They got to pay Chase long term, and he wants about 40 mil. I think that's what the report says. So I don't know if they can even afford to look outside their team currently. So I think their AFC North rival, the Steelers, get them. They have Larry Ogunjobi. They have Hayward still. Hayward should be, he's still playing well, but he should be on his last legs coming up soon. I think he's 37, 38. A lot of offseason rumors. Even last year was saying this last season, 2024 season, was his last year with the team. They will look to move on from him. I think he's a lifer personally. For the Steelers, he breathes and sleeps and bleeds and cries Steelers. So he's the Steelers guy. I don't see him moving on. I know people have been saying that for a while, but I just don't see it. He's still playing at a pretty good level. I think you get rid of Okunjobi, trade, cut, whatever, that saves the Steelers about 7 million, and then it's upgrade. If you can swap Okunjobi for Allen, and then well, you might not know because my videos don't go crazy as far as views wise, but I did a video, and I don't do the Steelers too often, so when I do talk about them, I don't really speak on this player a lot. But I love Benton from Nebraska, the pick they had a couple years ago. I raved about that pick on draft night when he was drafted, 2023, I believe. That was an A++ move for me. I love Benton. And pairing Benton up with Hayward, who's been there, obviously, then you swap out Okunjobi for Allen, boy, that's not bad. And then you have Allen being the future piece with Benton because Hayward, like I said, on his last legs, Allen needs a brand new deal. He's on a 1 year deal left. He's 30 years old. So I'm really loving that fit. To me, it makes the most sense. It truly does. So I'm all on board. If I'm a Steelers fan, to make that move happen, you upgrade your trenches. You get better. And like I said, Allen, people might forget that he's a good player. He is a very good player. Missed most of last year with a pectoral injury, and also, like I said, he was in Washington, but prior to them being good, so people might get lost in the sauce or might not think he is good, or he's I think a 2-time Pro Bowler. It's been a minute, but he's a good player still, and adding him to that Steelers team will make a lot of sense. Some more teams that could be involved, which I would love for them as well. The Los Angeles Chargers, that makes a lot of sense. I would like that move a lot for them. They're supposed to lose potentially Mack and Bosa. I know they play on the outside edge rush, but he could help that interior. That interior's been bad for a couple years now, as far as the Chargers go. And also in the draft, if they can pair Allen up, if they get him with a guy like Grant from Michigan, that would be devastating. That would be nasty. To pair him up with a young boy like Grant, who's a very good prospect at that D tackle spot. So there's a lot of teams involved for them, in my opinion. The Packers, like I said I did that video, and it's funny. I did that video last year. It could come to pass this year, but I'm kind of off that move now. So it is possible the Packers go after him. Like I said, I did like how Wyatt, what's his name, Devontae Wyatt, I believe his name is, from Georgia a couple years ago, had a tough rookie year, but he's kind of bounced back since. He's been pretty solid. You have Kenny Clark still, who's about 30-ish now, 31. So, I don't know if you want to have too many. Well, it don't really matter about how many guys you have that's 30 as far on the front line or at any position. But, having two guys beyond 30, I think Clark should be about 30, kind of on their decline, so to say, Clark and Allen. I'm like, it's not the worst thing to have because you have it in Hayward and Allen. But, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a good fit to me anymore. I think the Packers want a Max Crosby. They want a Myles Garrett. Allen is not bad, but he's not those guys in kind of they're different positions too. So, to me personally, I think the Packers are kind of in line for an edge rusher more than anything because their guys haven't quite panned out. Van Ness, the rookie from a couple years ago, hasn't really got that much PT and hasn't really played well. Gary, he kind of played well prior to him getting the extension, but since then, which might have been last year maybe, he didn't have a great year last year. So the Packers make sense, but I'm kind of off that now for me personally, but it could be a good landing spot for him. It definitely could be. And knowing my luck, me not even want to do the video anymore for the Packers, it might be the actual fit for him. The Niners make a lot of sense as well. They've been trying to fill that gap since, was it Armstead or the other one? Whatever the tall, the tall light skinned one, the tall brown skinned guy was a couple years ago. They had two of them, Buckner and Armstead. Whichever one's going to the Colts. They've been trying to replace him for a good minute now. I know he kind of moved around, played DN, played D tackle. Allen can do both as well, but mainly more, I think, better used in the inside. So bringing him on to pair with Bosa, they still could try to add someone else via the draft or free agency. So as I said, it's tough to try to find the perfect fit for him, but I think the Steelers are the best fit. Some will say the Chicago Bears, pairing them back up with Montez Sweat. I'm not against it. I'm really not. I have another video coming. I don't know if it's a short or a video or not. We'll see. But I have Chase Young going to the Bears. You know, trying to keep on low. But I have Chase Young going to the Bears as well as a prediction video. Like I said, I don't know if it's gonna be short. Probably a short. I don't really have much to say about it to make a long video form on it. But Chase Young going to the Bears. He was with Dennis Allen last year, pairing back up with Montez Sweat, his former Commanders teammate from a couple years ago. That makes sense to me too. So you have a big reunion. Bring on Allen. You still bring on Chase because they still need a defensive end. That wouldn't be the worst thing. I wouldn't be mad at it. But we'll see. We'll see, man. On to some other teams as well before we get out of here. I kept y'all here long enough. If you're still watching this far into the video, let's see. I have a list. I have a list right here. Okay. I said Chargers. The video's on the Steelers. Niners, Packers, Panthers. Not mad at it. Cardinals, not mad at it. Pairing him with Robinson, the rookie from last year, who was injured most of the year. Patriots, not mad at it. And the Panthers. Cowboys, Bills, Texans, I wouldn't mind, but probably him being cut more than anything. Now you got to say the big bad wolf too, the Chiefs. The Chiefs make a lot of sense as well, but this is probably via only if he gets cut. If he gets released, then the Chiefs will be on top of my list. But until that happens, pairing him with Chris Jones would be devastating. But until that happens, I'm going to stay with a trade, and I think a good fourth-round pick should get it done for the Steelers in this move here. But that's it for the video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.